there, we are Clare and Nick Butcher, and we've been together for over 20 years. We used to live in Wiltshire in the UK, with Nick having a background in bathroom sales and myself in hospitality and catering. In 2020, we decided to leave the daily grind to start a new life in France. Eventually, we ended up buying this. It's not officially a chateau, even though the village locals call it one. However, it is just as large and equally as much hard work as a chateau, with a hoard of original features, and the building having been unoccupied for many years, we are slowly breathing life back into her, whilst frequently still finding the many treasures she holds. Join us on our journey with our dogs, Flora and Merlot, as we renovate our maison de maître. So this afternoon we've just had a ding-dong at the door, and and Nick has just gone and collected a box. Oh, darling, what have you ordered from Amazon? It's not me. Not this time.
So yes, I did order something, and for my birthday, my parents and my in-laws and my brother gave me some money, which I have put towards this, which is a new drone. So well, hopefully before long you'll see it in action.
What do you think, Flora? This morning we are in Sant and we are off to the farmers market. Yay! But first I'm giving somebody a coffee stop.
Very nice.
He's a bit mardy this morning because he forgot to set the alarm and he woke up late, didn't you? No?
Time?
No? It's a sausage dog.
Ah ouais. Voilà, merci à toi. Et puis après au piquant, il y a des noyaux dedans.
Il y a beaucoup de noyaux et quelques-unes sans noyaux. Mais c'est un mélange avec noyaux, ouais. Et en piquant, je vais pas avoir un mer parce que il faut l'écouter
Alors, rapide tour. Bonjour. Je vais prendre des crevettes, s'il vous plaît. Ah bien, je vais les mettre. Je prends des agneaux. 8, 8. Pardon.
C'est ma faute.
Je suis gentille. Combien? Avec ceci? Bonjour.
Just picked up 2 terrific huge bunches of garlic for €14. It's going to be a good week. definitely a place that you want to come for food porn day. Wow.
Ouais, voilà. Un petit morceau de Saint-Nectaire.
Somebody this evening has been playing with their new toy. Not me, I'm just holding this. There has been a slight incident. And now it is going to involve a man and a ladder and a stick. And I don't know whether you can see that light flashing. It's somewhere there. Tiny little red light. And it's all the way up there. It looks sad, it's got a little face. Oh, I don't like that, that's a bit freaky, isn't it? Hi!
Right, so if it flies.
Yep. Do you want to maybe do it away from the tree?
Yeah, okay.
Going forwards.
Oh, good morning from a grey Charente-Maritime. Today I'm going to make a start on replacing that hen pen with something hopefully a bit more attractive. The first thing I need to do, I've given the hens some food inside, it'll keep them busy for a while. I'm going to block them in so I can work on it without them escaping and going around the garden and creating havoc. Then I'll be taking out the existing fencing and replacing with some of this stuff. That's the plan. Well, that's the old one taken down. Yeah, it's got to fit the new one now. Yay. Okay, well there's 4 posts in the ground. They're all vertical at the moment. I'm going to go and mix a load of concrete up and hope that they're still vertical when I come back with it. Should be alright. And there you have it. The posts are now concreted in. I'm going to leave that till at least tomorrow morning before I start playing with it. Yeah, quite happy with that.
This week is a big kitchen week here. After going shopping at the market yesterday, we also have a flurry of fruit that has ripened on our plum trees. However, today, first things first, I bought a huge tray of these beautiful peaches. And first up this week is peach jam. And I have to say, don't they look lovely? My first point of call before I even start jam making is to come out to one of the outbuildings and go into one of the cupboards. Now, for the last couple of years since we moved in, I have been storing jam jars or any type of jar that can fit jam in, and old candle jars as well, but that's another thing for another day. So I'm just about to come here, pick some out, take them in, take the labels off and sterilise them. I've only been storing them in here, and there's 2 years worth at least, because last year we had fruit trees but with no fruit. So hence, no use for any of these jars up until now. Here's a few jars to start with, and now it's time to get the labels off, and then after that we'll sterilise them.
Right, well it would be a shame to have to clean the cement mixer after just making up that one load, so I'm going to take advantage of the fact that it is a dull, damp afternoon. Perfect for getting on with some bathing. So I'm just about to cut one to go round that there, and then I'll make another mix up and get some down. Good, well that'll fit.
I have now delabelled my jars, and over to one side I have a pan of water that I'm going to bring to the boil, and then I'm going to dip all of the jars in and put them in this box with a clean tea towel in the bottom. So these will be for the sterilised jars. This is the non-sterilised jar area. I've got some more which are delabelling in the sink. Over here I'm ready to start on my fruit prep. This is a really simple peach jam recipe. 1.5 kilos of peaches, 1 kilo of sugar, can be castor, ideally jam sugar, and the juice and zest of a lemon. Really simple. First step, wash the peaches, cut them in half, take out the pips. Simples. All done. Now let's dice these up and chuck them in a pan. And there we have our peaches diced up and in a pan with the zest of a lemon and the juice of a lemon as well. Now it's time to put this on the heat. On the stove, and I'm just going to bring this up to the boil slowly and then let it simmer for about 20 minutes. However, one addition I am going to make is I'm going to add a pinch of salt.
So time to get a mix on.
20 minutes later and it's starting to look really lovely. The whole kitchen smells of peaches, and it's time now to slowly add in the sugar. As I add the sugar, I'm going to keep stirring it just so it all dissolves into the mixture nicely and there's no horrible clumps of sugar. No one wants that. And this is what it should look like once it's finished. You can tell when it's set because it starts to develop a thick skin. Now I'm going to leave this to cool for a moment before I decant it into jars. A, because it's the temperature of Satan's ring piece, and I don't want to burn myself. I've selected small jars because one thing that I've found over the years with giving away jam, if you give somebody a 500-gram jar of jam, they look a little bit mortified. And there's no way that anybody can eat 500 grams of jam in one sitting. Although now I've said that, someone will prove me wrong.
Well, I've done a few, not that many though, because I'm making the mix and then fishing them and then making the mix and then fishing them. It's much quicker with two of us working on it, but anyway, each bit forward isn't something still to do.
Qualifie de Dyson des outils de nettoyage. Il peut rendre n'importe quel endroit impeccable en 5 minutes.
Mellow,
De l'extérieur délicat,
you watching telly?
croustillantes. Fini les produits chimiques nocifs et les heures de frottement. Cet appareil de nettoyage a été créé par Olivier Girard, un ancien ingénieur français de l'une des plus grandes entreprises technologiques du monde.
Is it interesting?
Proposer un produit de nettoyage.
What a beautiful start to the day. Absolutely lovely. Well, today I've got to get on with this. Can't let the hens stay inside any longer, it's not fair. So right, time to crack on.
Yesterday evening I finished off my peach jam with jar lids and labelled them. Today is a different type of jam. Today I'm using the apricots I got from the market on Sunday. I have my huge box of apricots. I have a slightly bigger pan that I've cleaned off today for this because there should be double the amount of jam that there was yesterday, and I'm just about to weigh out 3 kilos of apricots. I think that's as close as I'm going to get to 3 kilograms. So now I'm going to wash them, I'm going to cut them in half, I'm going to take the stones out, and I'm going to dice them up, and I'm going to get them into the big pan. A little while later, and I now have all of my apricots pitted, diced in a pan with the zest and juice of 4 lemons. And it's now onto the heat, and we're going to give that a mix and get it simmering away and running up to a boil for about 20 minutes. So about 20 minutes later, Everything's bubbling away nicely, and it's now time to add the sugar. And I'm going to add 2 kilos of preserving sugar, and I'm also going to add 2 packets of pectin.
Okay, well, fence is now up. I'm not trimming the post yet because I don't know if I need to put extra protection around it to stop things getting in or out. Yeah, gonna have a tidy up and then let the girls out and see how they like their new enclosure.
About 20 minutes on from adding the sugar and the pectin, this is bubbling away nicely and the smell is just sensational. Oh, liquid gold. I think this is nearly ready. However, I am getting technical today and I'm using for the first time my jam thermometer. And I can say, I think that we are definitely there. We are, if not a couple over the line. So it's time to take this off the heat and wait a couple of moments, and then I've got my jars all ready and waiting, sterilised. And there we have it, 13 jars of jam. That's amazing. So later on I will give the tops a clean down and I will put the lids on and label them. And you can join me for another jam tomorrow. I've just finished making jam for the day and we've had a ding dong at the door, and it was our neighbour, and they've kindly dropped some things off for us. Raspberries, strawberries and this huge bag of Mirabelle plums. You're going to be eating a lot of jam for a while.
Beautiful morning again. Time to get some slabs down.
Good morning, and another kitchen day here. The temperature outside is rising, and before it started I've been out to the greenhouse and I have picked a couple of huge peppers. So the first thing I'm doing this morning, I'm marinating some beef in a black bean sauce with some vegetables, sticking it in the fridge to have for this evening's dinner. At the same time I am on glass jar label removing. Ta-da! And then I have over here a pan of water which I'm boiling to sterilise my jars, because, surprise, surprise, it's going to be another jam day. So there's step one of the day done, all ready to go in the fridge for a few hours, ready for dinner this evening. Next up, I was requested to make somebody some lunch, so I have done. A piece of grilled steak with some cheese, some caramelised onions and some sauce. I find productivity is better when you feed your other half Anyways, I have in my pan over here 700 grams of strawberries and raspberries. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn up the heat and I'm going to let these simmer onto a boil eventually for 20 minutes. This will be a small batch jam. So I've done 700 grams of preserving sugar with about 6 grams of pectin mixed in for this. Let's go. It's hot. While that's all bubbling away in the background, the next thing I'm going to go on to is the Mirabelle plums that the neighbour dropped off. I've never had a Mirabelle plum before, so this is a bit new to me. Over in France, you can kind of look at fruit sometimes and it just starts to go off. These are a day and a half old and I'm about to sieve out the good ones from the bad ones. Got a couple of fruit flies, everything will be washed, all okay. Here we go, ready for the sugar, and I have given this a once over with a potato masher to make sure that all of the berries are kind of glooped together. In goes the jam thermometer and we are in business. I now have 1.5 kilos of washed Mirabelle plums and I'm about to take the stones out and halve them and put them straight into a pan. They are really tiny, they're very fiddly to take the pips out, but I'm finished. 1.5 kilos ready to go on the heat. Let's start jamming. Woohoo! And about time for the sugar to go into the Mirabelle plum jam. Kind of looks like a sloppy kind of pumpkin. And the Mirabelle plums are looking good. And back in goes our jam thermometer. We are good to go. Another batch of homemade jam. So I think I'm now all jammed out just for today. There's a new jam tomorrow. However, today I have this huge bunch of garlic which I bought 2 of at the market on Sunday. And today I'm going to use one of them. Some of it I'm going to just take off the whole bulbs, cut the tops off, roast them for garlic butter, and the rest of them I'm going to make confit garlic. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bulbs of garlic.
Right, well, I'm gonna stop there for the day. It's getting quite warm. Made good progress, so I'm quite pleased with what I've done. But yeah, enough for today.
So this evening Nick has picked 13.4 kilos of plums, and as good as I am with jam and as good as we are with food, I don't think that we can eat that many. So I've set up outside the house a little free take pot thing. So if anybody is in the area, feel free to come and take as many plums as you like. And now back onto the garlic. So from earlier this afternoon, I have my garlic cut in half with some olive oil and some sea salt, ready to roast. I have 4 bulbs of garlic, which I have peeled all of the cloves to, and they are in a pan with some rosemary, and I'm going to absolutely cover them in olive oil. And with this, I'm going to make confit garlic. So I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 20 minutes and we'll come back and see how it is then. I think the kitchen may end up smelling slightly garlicky soon. 20 minutes later and confit garlic has come out of the oven. What I'm now going to do is leave this on the side until it has really cooled down. Then I'm going to pop it into a jar, pop the lid on, and I can keep that in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. But it is spreadable garlic and you can use the oil, great for dipping or just really eating like tiny pieces of apple. Yummy. And dinner time and the marinated beef comes out of the fridge. Yum yum.
Well, I've come to a gravel shop and just about to get loaded up with some gravel for around the pool. You've got every colour you can imagine and some that you'd never even known existed. Right, well I'm back home and changed. So my first job before anything else is to get that van unloaded, and I'm going to put some of the gravel in there and some in here, which is going to be the base for the shower. So yeah, that's what I'm going to get on with now. Okay, well I think that's enough gravel for these two little areas now. The calcare, which is the limestone, when that gets wet it sort of softens a bit and then you end up walking it everywhere. So this stuff, it's marble, it won't get walked everywhere. So that's the thinking behind what we've done here. The shower base, obviously we want to drain pretty free flowing into the ground, so I do have something to put on there, some sort of duck boards to finish that off, but for now I'm going to get the rest of the that stone off the back of the van, and that's going into the far corner. Well, that's the last of the marble. That was 850 kilos worth. Doesn't seem to have gone that far, but I'm going to have to make another trip back there. Yeah, so down this end, where I've got my rain recuperation thing, from time to time that whole area gets flooded and overflows. So I don't want to put anything down here apart from stuff that will help it all drain away. So that's what I'm doing there. And from about here onwards, this L-shaped bit, that's going to be the remainder of the grass that we've got. Right then, back to gravier decor for another load that marble. Whee! Right, here I am, going to spend some money. Woohoo! We're just going to get that bag and tip it into the dumper and load me up with that, because it's easier for me to unload it when it's loose. So yeah, nearly there. Right, back I go. And in no time at all, I'm back home and starting to unload and distribute it. Okay, so now I've filled up the shower area with the gravel, I'm going to assemble what I hope to be the shower tray base, which is a number of these things that we found for sale in a local shop. They should just clip together, see if it works. Well, that was quite satisfactory.
So this morning is fruit picking morning. After Nick pulling off 13 point something kilos of plums last night, I'm going to try and attack the trees now and see how much I can get off. At the same time, he's behind me and he's going to be doing this pear tree. We have now finished fruit picking for today and just having a tally up of how much fruit there is.
Including what we picked yesterday, 70 kilos of plums and about 24 kilos of pears.
You hungry?
Anyone got a good idea of what you can do with a lot of plums?
Well, they're going to go outside, I think, so we can try and give some away. Nana's coming! Nana! Flora! Nana's coming! Nana! Nana and Jin! After fruit picking yesterday, I spent the afternoon just giving the G to once over, getting it ready for my parents who are going to stay with us this evening. The bed's all made, everything's lovely and clean, and there's milk in the fridge. I've started making lunch, which is going to be a slow roasted pulled lamb with a red onion and sumac sauce with couscous, and I've got watery eyes because I've just cut a kilo of onions. And the plan is this evening is to take my parents out and give them an airing. We will be going to a 60s concert in Saint-Jean-d'Angely where Mr. T's fish and chips will be. So we're really treating them to a whole night out and a night in the sheet. It's just like a mini break. And of course it's just started to rain. Yay. One thing I also did yesterday afternoon was go and pick this amazing bunch of gladiolus and eucalyptus from the back garden. Aren't they just incredible? So I'm going to start today with plum jam. Now I saved a big box yesterday and I'm going to use 4 kilos of plums today. Here they are, so I'm going to wash them. Then I'm going to halve them and remove the pips and put them into a huge saucepan. A little while on, and with the arrival of Mother Dearest has come this giant bag of blackcurrants. I asked for a kilo, I've received 1.7 kilos. What a lucky girl I am. So I'm about to wash these and get these in the pan. In the meantime, I have destoned 4 kilos of plums and I am about to get these onto the heat. Let's do some jamming. The plums have all nicely melted down into a really hot goop, and you know what time it is now. It's time for the sugar. Want to make sure that that's all nicely dissolved as well. About time for the technical bit again, and I think judging by that thermometer we are definitely in business and good to go with the plum jam. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to do half just plum, and then to the jam I am going to add some cinnamon, so it'll be quite Christmassy. At one side I have plum jam, at the other side I have plum and cinnamon jam, and then I'm on to the final one, the blackcurrant jam. So I'm just letting this start to simmer down onto a boil, and I also have in here a lemon with some lemon rind and lemon juice. I have dirty fingers. They are not dirty, they are coloured because of dealing with all of the plums and cutting them up. After a hard day at work, we have finally brought my mum and dad out for a nice airing. Dad's driving, so we've bought him dinner. Mother's paid for the first round of drinks, and there's even going to be a live band. Cheers, mate. We've let them out. They're on day release. Father's driving. And how are you this evening, Mr. Butcher? Knackered. But you're all right there. You've got a good view of the stage.
My beer hand is working quite
Yeah.
well.
Oh, seems to be a hole in that glass, or it's evaporating. Oh.
We can work it out. Life is very short, and there's no crime. Fussing and I had always thought that it's a crime. Why would I day tripper, yeah. Day tripper, yeah. Day tripper.
Hi, and welcome to
Wine of the Week.
And this week we're back on wine.
Yay.
Normality is restored.
And it's white and it's chilled.
It's a Pinot Gris from the Alsace region, which we got at the Migron Wine Fair this year.
It could be. We have been to many wine fairs, and if there was many more to come, it would be even nicer.
So, yeah, well, so back to other matters. We good time was had by all last night, I believe, was it not?
It was, and thank you very much to my wonderful father for driving whilst you had a skinful.
I had a couple of beers, and it was very pleasant. I'd earned it. So,
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we both have.
We have, haven't we? Well, you made a lot of jam this week, haven't you?
I have made 57 jars of jam.
Did you have in your head that song, We're Jamming?
I did at times. And I'd just like to say, look at your teeth now, because they will never be the same again.
Great. Well, look, if you've liked this week's episode, please click the like button, and if you're not yet a subscriber, click on subscribe. It costs you nothing.
You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, or on our website at
www.theexpatbutchers.com.
Oh, ready. Oh!
Anyway, looking forward to this wine. It's quite a warm, sunny day today, so
It
it
is.
should go down well.
Mostly any wine goes down well around here, though. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Lovely. Well, we're going to enjoy this, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Cheers.